Hello, and we're live.
Yo.
And this is the truth, boys and girls. Welcome to the Truth Hour. Do we have an intro video, or we raw dogging it?
We're raw dogging it right now. We'll put up an
yeah.
intro video here pretty soon. I'm working on one. I'm working on actually 3 different videos that I'm going to be uploading here. So I'm like just like all over the place. I can't just focus on one thing. But the Truth Hour video is the one that's closest to being done because I've been working on that one for God, almost a year, which is crazy because I'll do it and then I'll love it and then I'll watch it a bunch of times and then I'll just see something that's like I don't like that in it and I decide I have to change it. The only thing I want to change now is the John McAfee thing because he's real quiet in the clip that I had, so I just need to replace that with something else. But the problem with doing that is I can't just replace it with a single clip that's the exact same length. Like replacing that clip might throw off the other
It'll
ones.
throw off the whole video, yeah.
It could, yeah. So we'll see. I'm working.
I had to, when I was messing around with the intro for Gage and Cage, dude, it was so hard getting those little scenes to get to be the length of the video that I needed it to be. And so I had to
I
find
love that
stock
video.
footage. It helps if you have little pieces of something else that you can kind of throw in. That helps a lot. But
I think we have that. I think we have that up on our channel. I think we have that Gage and Cage intro, as well as the Gibson experience. I broke most of our stuff down into playlists and podcasts now, so that should be good. Let me check our levels here.
How do we sound? Well, sometimes I feel like we get a little echoey. So I've got the mic kind of far away from my speaker, so I'm hoping that helps things.
Yep, you sound good. I'm echoey, but I'm not really gonna fuck with that right now. That's weird. I thought it was my my microphone that I was using last week, which is why I'm using the headset, but something else to it. So I'm just gonna have an echo, y'all.
Let me try to just cut your volume down on my end, because I don't have you on a headset. That might be where the echo comes from.
As well as the Gibson experience. Yeah. Yeah, it might be echoing back. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. But hey, man, this is the Truth Hour. Welcome to it. Truth is the property of being in accord with fact or reality, and that's what we aim to do on this show. We want to be right in hanging in the truth and the reality of facts. So here we are.
The truth lies.
What do you want to talk about today? What's on your mind? Is there anything?
Billionaire,
like
the Billionaire Deathmatch, dude.
Right. We got
Okay.
Elon facing Zuckerberg, which to me, like, I thought that like Zuckerberg was like supposedly like trained in jiu-jitsu and shit. Like he can just put people down.
He won a tournament recently.
Yeah.
Like in the last like 3 months, he's won like a jiu-jitsu tournament. I'm pretty sure, and he's ranking, I believe, in others. I'm not really following him. I'm seeing what you're pulling up here. I'm not really following it, but
looks like he's
apparently
just putting fools down. Huh?
Shit. Yeah. Well, Lex Friedman is a
competition.
well. Lex Friedman's a little bitch. He's just an engineer. He's not a fighter, so that's not even fair. I mean, obviously he does jiu-jitsu if he's fighting Mark Zuckerberg, but yeah, look, he won silver. That's not easy.
No.
I love that picture.
Yeah, Zuckerberg is
Flag.
and like there's like some like couldn't he be like a robot potentially? So like that'd be a serious unfair advantage to Elon.
Yeah, android. But Elon also could be an android or like a mecha. Like I almost
dude,
expect
you know
Elon to pull out.
It reminds me of like Alien, like Bishop in Aliens. You remember that movie, man?
What is that?
Dude,
The first Alien?
No, it's the second Alien. And he's like the android guy, and he like saves them at the end.
Oh, yeah.
He gets cut in half by like the queen.
Yeah.
And there's all that white goo going everywhere.
Well, it's redemption because in the first Alien, the android, fucks him.
Right, and she's even like, I get this guy out of here. The last one like malfunctioned and like tried to kill everybody.
Racist. Yeah, she's a racist in the second one against androids.
Against androids.
Yeah.
But yeah, they say his jujitsu skills are primal, even pretty epic. And wow,
Fuck yeah.
He's taken second. He's paragliding. He's got the American flag. Mark Zuckerberg, man, I think it's a clear lock if it's these two. I don't even know if Elon Musk does jujitsu.
I think he has, but he certainly does not train or work out or eat healthy or do any. He doesn't do any of that. I mean, I'm sure he is now, but no, he's not. He's not looking good. And what's funny about all this is he started this shit. And what's even funnier about all this is he's not only doubling down, but he's like, he just challenged. He hasn't even gotten through Zuckerberg yet, and he's already talking about kicking Bezos' ass, Jeff Bezos. And have you seen Jeff Bezos? This guy?
Elon Musk said he's gonna kick not only Zuckerberg's ass but Jeff Bezos' ass.
Yeah, and he's making memes about kicking Bill Gates'
Putin
ass
or something?
too.
Like, what if he just
Bill
went
Gates.
around like kicking like world leaders' ass and shit next? Like,
Well, what sucks is Bill Gates is probably the only one that he could beat, but Bill Gates would never fight him in a fair fight.
dude, I feel like this is like real life celebrity deathmatch. Do you remember that show, like where they'd have the little claymation fucking dolls? Because like, didn't we get? He was like a YouTube guy, and now he's like really fucking good at boxing and shit. And he fought like Floyd Mayweather. It all started with McGregor and Mayweather, you know, and it's just like gone and gone and gone. And then you had like a Mike Tyson rematch somewhere in there. It's just like they're bringing all these old dudes out of retirement to fight each other. It's
Dude,
like,
we're living
like
in the best
movies,
of times.
Like they're like doing that too, you know.
Yeah, this is the best, dude. Like we have billionaires openly challenging each other to like fisted combat in like an arena in Vegas.
This is from the New York Post.
Like, that's amazing.
And this is basically my take: is that he has absolutely no chance. Zero chance.
He's gonna get he's gonna get his ass kicked. I mean,
dude.
I wouldn't say zero, but it's not good.
Damn, Joe Rogan called.
Which is why I think it's funny.
Savage.
Which is why I think it's funny that he's going around like he hasn't even gotten his ass kicked by Zuckerberg yet, and he's already like, "Come on, Bezos, let's go." It's fucking hilarious.
See, that's what I want to see is Putin versus fucking Elon Musk.
Yeah, it'd be cool if that's how they ended the war. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, wasn't there like a comedian who had a bit about this where he was saying like that's how, instead of going to war, like that's how like wars should be fought is like our leaders, our elected leaders, just like beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah. So give me a share screen. I wanna share my screen, or I gotta click it, right?
Yeah.
Host disabled. You have to enable the share screen.
I'm gonna try.
Gotta try. I got some good shit pulled up here.
Here, try it now.
All right. Screen. Share. That's it. Nice. Can you see that?
Yes.
So I actually haven't watched this video, but I just saw it. I think this is like this is how Elon Musk versus Zuckerberg would go down. So it looks like a deep fake. So let's see how this goes. I've not watched this.
Oh, that's one of those. Oh, it's street beefs, dog. Street beefs. My cousin does that. He's in on that street beef.
That's it?
That was it.
Oh, that was lame. Sorry. I thought that'd be cool. I thought it'd have like a cool ending or something. But and then I got this thing. Oh, no, that's something else. This is Elon trolling Bill Gates, calling him fat, And he's calling himself fat. He's like, my walrus move wouldn't work on him. So he's trying to challenge Bill Gates to combat.
Why? What is he doing? Why is he doing this?
Well, I know that he has beef with Bill Gates because Bill Gates has openly shorted Tesla, and Elon fucking hates that Bill Gates has made tons of money shorting Tesla, and it drives Elon fucking crazy. So he wants to fight him.
Nice.
Which brings me to the next guy. You know, I've been talking about RFK Jr. Man, he's got a fun Twitter. This is RFK Jr.
This is turning into the whitest kid you know businessman sketch, dude.
Dude, check this out. This is RFK Jr. I want this man to be elected president, and this is him doing push-ups just to prove that, hey, I can do it.
You think Biden could do that?
He should fight. He should kick Elon's ass. Oh, I love this guy.
He only did like 5 push-ups.
Dude, he's like 100.
Huh.
Yeah, those were weak
I wasn't
push-ups.
that impressed.
No, those were weak push-ups. He's also on here. Let's see if I have this one pulled up.
Oh, does he rap? Because that'd be great.
No, I thought I had another one pulled up, but I don't. And this is just some other stuff. So okay, I can turn off my screen share now. I just wanted to show a couple of those things there. I got a couple more things that I want to pop up later, but we ain't there yet. We're still talking about the Billionaire Deathmatch.
Billionaire Deathmatch. I mean,
which I guess there's really not much
bizarre,
more to say,
right? No, it's
the world that we live in now, man. This is what
like we're living in some strange dystopian fantasy.
Okay, so this is the Truth Hour. We do conspiracy stuff. So I've been thinking maybe, conspiracy boys. Why would Elon challenge Mark Zuckerberg to a fist fight when he knows he's going to get his ass kicked?
Well, I mean, that's what I mean. It's kind of like that business men sketch from Whitest Kids. It's like he's just reached this pinnacle in business where like the only thing left to do is like they've all got so much fucking money. It's like the only thing left to do to like prove that we're the baddest one or whatever. It's like, well, I go to the moon. Well, so do I. It's like, well, you know what, dude? I'll just kick your ass. How about that? And
but he
it's
can't. But he can't kick his
throwing
ass,
down
though.
the fucking gauntlet, like, bro,
I have a
I've kind of had
conspiracy.
enough of this shit. We'll really see whose dick's fucking bigger.
I have 2 takes on this. One is what I actually think is happening, and what I actually think is happening is both just stand to gain even more attention from this, thus elevating their platforms and them making more money. So I think that's what it all comes down to. I think Elon is willing to get his ass
That's
kicked
what it's about, right?
because he's just going to get more views. My conspiracy on this, though, is basically the same thing, but they're like in cahoots on it. Maybe they're like actually buddies, and this whole beef is fake. Like there is no beef. They're just making shit up. But it is hilarious to think that like the owner of Instagram and Facebook is like going to be fighting the owner of Twitter. Like it's like a social media fist fight.
It's
with
more
billionaires.
Than that. It's like the richest men in the world going at it for some reason, just because they can. Like that's what's bizarre about it. It's like I've conquered space, I've conquered Earth, I've conquered all the things that I can potentially do in this life. The one thing left I have to do before I leave this planet is kick Bill Gates' ass. And maybe he's thinking like, okay, so I get mopped right by Zuckerberg, but I get in a punch,
he's thinking
I
the
put
long
up
game.
a good fight. They see that like I can hang in there and that I'm willing to take a punch. And maybe he just wants Bill Gates to see that shit. Like, can you do the same, motherfucker? Do you think you can do the same? Maybe Mark fucking does whop my ass, but can you say the same thing? I don't know.
We live in the best of times. This is the best. I'm so glad to be here for like all of this. This is just great.
It's something else, man. It's
great.
Very special that we're
like can you imagine if back in like the 1900s or whatever, if like JP Morgan like had a fist fight with like Abraham Lincoln? like Like they're just like, fuck you. You're like, you're not passing my fucking laws. And Abe's like, fuck you. Let's
Fuck
settle this in the
let's
ring.
Right.
Even though they did used to duel each
actually, they did, dude. Back in the fucking
Yeah.
day, bro, they did, except they did it with pistols.
That's
They
right.
would literally go out in the street like Andrew Jackson and shit. Like, he would, like, challenge people to a duel. He'd be like,
Hamilton.
nuh-uh, we ain't having it that way, and we'll go out in the street and settle this shit like men. So, like,
So nothing's changed.
Huh?
Nothing's changed.
Nothing has really changed in the last 200 years, you know? In fact, it's just on a grander scale now where everybody can see it, right? And that's, if I had to guess, that's what's going on. Is there some big dick-waving contest between these three guys, which essentially, let's face it, control 90% of the commerce that happens in this country, you know, outside of Walmart. I mean, come on, man. There's nowhere left for them to go. I mean, you as a guy, you know, it's like you feel like you got this purpose in life, like you got to accomplish something. It's like, what is there left for Elon to accomplish other than just cage fights at this point? You know,
Yeah, well,
maybe he makes
trying
a
to go to
great
Mars.
film or something, but he's not.
Well, Mars.
You know, he's not an artist.
His mission is Mars. His whole thing is to colonize Mars. That's like his
Yeah,
life.
but the problem with
mission.
Mars is it's slow and it takes a lot of planning and it takes a lot of time. And so he's probably already got that on lockdown, you know? It's like all the gears are spinning and they just spin and it takes however long it takes. Whereas, like, this is something he feels like he's got the power to do now. And that's another thing. It's like he's not getting any younger. So it's like, okay, well, I guess if I am going to fight these guys, I got to do it right now, kind of thing.
Nerd fight in Vegas in the
Is it?
octagon.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be in Vegas. But
Oh, that's how it started. Is Elon's like, I forget exactly what he said, but he's like, "Fuck you, I'll fight you, Zuckerberg." And Zuckerberg was like, "Name a location," and his response was the octagon in Vegas. That's the location.
nice.
It's real, dude.
Damn.
It's real.
Wow. They're going to fight. They're going to hash it
You're
out.
You're gonna be able to bet on this too, but Zuckerberg is going to be such a
Heavy favorite, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I think Joe Rogan called him a savage or something like that. Like, Joe Rogan's pulling for him, you know. That probably says a lot. Like, now, Joe Rogan's also friends with Elon Musk, so, like, maybe they're talking too, you know? And that's another thing. It's like, Elon, it's very calculated one way or the other. It's like he either knows he's got a chance or he knows he's going to get his ass kicked one way or the other. It's not like he's not aware of the outcome. And so I don't know, man. It's kind of a head scratcher, right? It's like, why would you do this? Other than to just gain exposure and more money, which
And
just
attention.
seems like, but that's such a cop-out answer because, like, these dudes have all the money. Like, they
There is
already
another
have
thing.
more money, like, than they could ever want. So, like, what's really
Not
the
necessarily.
draw
Well, no,
there?
Elon, again, if he wants to go to Mars, that's an impossible mission. No, not impossible, but, you know, for one man to
Takes
do it in
forever.
a lifetime, it's a really hard thing. So he needs all the resources he can get. And he just acquired, I mean, we're kind of in a recession right now. And especially tech, like all their stocks have gotten destroyed in the last year or two.
Right.
I mean, they're rebounding now, but, you know, they were cut short. So they all lost a bunch of money. Zuck lost a bunch of money. Elon lost a bunch of money. He just bought Twitter last year for like $65 billion or something retarded like that. Twitter is not worth that. He doesn't make that kind of money off of it. But he's turning that platform around. That's his whole thing. He is committed to fucking making this fucking... He wants Twitter to take out Facebook and Instagram. He wants... And YouTube. And he's going after all of them, man. He's really upgrading the platform. And this is all just a PR stunt, just to get more views, get more likes, get more people, because he's tweeting on there every day. He is the emperor of the twats. He's on there, he's doing it, and it's just a PR thing, just to get more resources so that he can leave us all behind and go to fucking Mars.
He is the twat commander.
Colonize Mars. And then it also further secures his leadership as well, because people are like, well, he fucking fought that dude. Like...
Right.
Like you said, will Bill Gates do that? Will Biden go step in the ring with someone? Like, will Trump go do that? Fuck no.
Right.
But
And he's kind of putting it out there like, hey, I will do it.
Yeah,
I'm no
he's like, I'll
fucking
fight.
bitch, man.
He's like, I'll fight
you.
for this.
I'll
I'm not
fight
even a
you.
fighter. You'll kick my ass.
Right.
I can fight you.
But I'll still fight you. That's kind of like, wow, all right, Elon. He's got something to prove, you know?
He's proven it. You know, and
That's the thing is like Elon, it does seem like he wouldn't.
it's the
He wouldn't
definition
just
of
go
putting your
into it
money where your mouth
blindly.
is.
It's not like he just did this out of hubris, you know? It's like there's a calculated reason behind it one way or the other.
Yeah, or maybe it did kind of start off as a joke, and then he quickly realized, like, everyone's going to think I'm a bitch if I just play it off, and then he's like, okay, well, I said it, let's go, you know?
Yeah. Now, or yeah, right. It's like he said it, but
And then someone was like, okay,
regretted
well,
it immediately.
yeah, and he's like, fuck, I'm going to get my ass kicked. Yeah.
What if they fought as like in Mortal Kombat or something?
That'd be dope. I like these memes. That's a good one with the red and blue.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll keep our fingers on the pulse of that. We'll have Elon fighting all the billionaires. Should be interesting next couple years.
It'd be cool if he got a little group together of like other billionaires and like famous people, and they like fought other, like Zuckerberg had like one team, and like he had
Like a
it'd be
posse.
like X-Men versus like the evil mutants and shit.
Yeah, or like you said, they're androids. They both kind of look like androids. So there's that robot fight. Maybe it is a robot fight. Maybe that's why people are making all this references with the red and blue little robot things. Like, maybe it's just two fucking robots fighting each other.
Oh, that does. It's Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yeah. So maybe maybe that's the conspiracy, is he doesn't care if he gets his ass kicked because he's a fucking android anyways. It's all fake.
Right.
And he's just accumulating power.
Oh, damn. That's going to be a cool graphic, like, for whatever, like, some of this, like, the memorabilia from this thing could be, like, valuable, you know? Like, if
This is going to be
really big
legendary.
event. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be legendary.
It seems kind of that way already.
Oh, the internet's going crazy, as they should. I mean, this is like what the internet was made for. This
Right.
moment. This is it, boys. This is all the years of the internet leads up to this moment. Billionaire
Damn, dude, you're
Deathmatch.
right. It's like the two guys going at it face to face.
They should get like the Reddit guy to be the referee.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Or Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's pretty fitting.
Yeah. But he's biased though. Joe Rogan likes Elon. I don't think he likes Zuck.
Oh no, he said that I think he said Zuck is favored. Like he thinks that Zuck's gonna mop the fucking floor with him.
Well, no, but I mean personally, I think he likes Elon, but he doesn't like Zuck.
like he could call it favorably for him. I don't think he would do
Yeah.
that, but
Which actually might make the fight a little bit more interesting since Elon is at such a disadvantage. You know, let him get a couple
you give him a
shots at
handicap.
him.
Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like if they're gonna fight, like I feel like you should Zuckerberg, if he's like a black belt and Elon's not, like he should be handicapped in some way. Like he should have a blindfold or like one arm tied behind his back, or he's got to do it on one leg.
But then that defeats the purpose of a one-on-one fair fist fight.
That's
It
true.
would undo the whole
and that's
thing.
another thing. Is this boxing or is this like
Elon
MMA?
that's not been established yet, but Elon has stated that he wants it to be MMA style. He wants full-on combat.
Wow,
Yeah.
dude. So these
It'd
guys
be-
could really get hurt.
Dude, it would be hilarious if Zuck just started the thing with like I forget what you call it, but like a high knee kick and just like smashes Elon's face in just like immediately and just like crushes
a
his
flying
skull
knee
in.
kick?
Yeah, and he just gets fucking just like that's it. Just like the fight lasts 4 seconds, literally. Like he just does a flying, that right there. Yeah. Just right in his face. That'd be it.
Oh my god, dude.
He wouldn't see it coming. He doesn't have the reflexes to fucking block it. Zuck is like nimble and small. He can just fucking fly up there and do it.
Yeah.
Like, just get a fucking just square to the face, knock a couple teeth out.
Oh my god, dude.
That's my prediction.
Flying knee kick
Actually,
to the
I don't.
jaw? Yeah.
Actually, I don't. Actually, I don't think that's gonna happen because I feel like that would be like almost like a bad look for Zuckerberg to like do that immediately, like to not even feel him out first, like in the fight, to just go for it and just destroy him, like just destroy his face, like that would be pretty fucked up, honestly.
Dude, there's this one that I've seen where this dude like jumps off of the cage. He jumps and like springs up into the air off the cage and then like fucking knees him in the face, and it's like insane, dude.
Can you imagine getting kneed in the like? That's a huge bone, and it's like all of your body weight at that one point.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
Just getting annihilated, man.
yeah, he's not having a good day.
Oh,
He's not gonna have a good couple days,
no, dude.
couple weeks.
Yeah, dude. Flying knee is no joke. I mean, dude, it just looks crazy, too. It's like whenever you give somebody the flying knee, it's like you're doing some kind of crazy fucking kung fu martial art shit.
I mean, it's not
just
an
like
easy.
kickboxing, right?
It's not an easy move, but if you can land one.
What school of martial arts is that? I'm wondering.
I'm not sure exactly, but there is a type of martial arts out of Thailand that's elbows and knees.
Muay Thai, maybe?
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, it looks like it's a lot of knees and shit.
Elbows and knees. So it's like
Yeah.
hitting with elbows. So you don't really do punching strikes or kicks. It's all elbows and knees. And I think there's some grappling and stuff in there too, but it's mostly knee and elbow strikes, which is fucking brutal if you think about it.
Oh, that's
I mean,
insane,
that's like,
dude. Like the
Yeah.
fact that they're taking this shit to the face is just
yeah.
beyond me.
I mean, I
It's
guess
so much
you lose
power, dude. Like you have so much
Yeah.
power in that part of your leg, like, and you can
Yeah,
just
I mean, you lose range, but the amount of power that you
right.
get
It's
if you
whole
land something.
thigh just fucking right up in there, man.
Yeah, I think
Bam!
and I might be talking out my ass here, but I think it's more of like a defensive style. Well, I think most martial arts are more defensive, but I think the idea is to be more defensive, let them get close, and then get an elbow in or a
Right.
knee.
It's very
You know.
like Spider-Man. It's like it reminds me of like Spider-Man, like the fucking.
Yeah, does
pose and
Spider-Man
shit.
ever do a? Does he ever do a flying knee kick?
I don't know, but he should.
I feel like that's almost too brutal for like pussy Peter Parker. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be like a dark Spider-Man, or he's got to be like really pissed. Like
Right.
you know,
Dude, yeah, I would love to see Spider-Man flying knee kick somebody. That would be
Yeah.
insanely cool.
look it up on your image search there. Let's see if it exists. I'm sure it does. I mean, there might at least be some good art. No, he does full kicks. He doesn't fuck with that flying knee shit.
Man. I've never seen Spider-Man do a flying knee kick.
That's not really his style. Like I said, that's a brutal attack. Like that's like really going for it. If you got flying knee kicked by Spider-Man, you're not getting up.
No,
Never.
that would end most of his fucking enemies, dude. Like, yeah, every time you see him, he's always like, it's full extension, you know? He's got the full leg out.
Yeah, he's
Like, that's like his super secret power that, like, nobody's talked about for
His flying
70
knee
years.
kick.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, nah, dude. The Spider-Man kick is far more of a full extension. More of a roundhouse kick. Like, I've seen him do shit like that, where he kind of spins around and kicks.
Right. He's a clean fighter.
He
Fights
is.
clean.
He is. He's a good guy.
Well, not all good guys are clean fighters.
Right. Just look at Wolverine. Like, he'll cut your fucking head off.
Is he a good guy?
Yeah, definitely.
He's mostly a good guy. He does murder some people that maybe didn't deserve to get murdered. you know, maybe they're assholes, but
No,
like everyone, like all these assholes that he meets in bars in Canada that he just
right.
murders all the time. Like,
Yeah, but
sure, they're a bunch of hicks up in, but dude, like you
they're a
don't have
bunch
to
of
like
Canadian rednecks.
racist. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
usually like racist or something.
right.
But still, he shouldn't be going around like murdering
Right.
them.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think that's really arguable, you know? It's like Professor X kind of has him, like, under control, like, when he's around, but, like, Wolverine is kind of like, he will just, like, murder somebody, like, if it suits him, you know?
Yeah, or if he just doesn't like you.
Right. But he fights for the good guys, though.
Yeah.
But only after X-Men, because before that, he was, like, tearing up the Hulk, dude. He was, like, fighting the Hulk and stuff.
What were they fighting for? What was their beef?
The Hulk and Wolverine? I'm not sure, actually.
Dude, when are you doing your
That's the first appearance of Wolverine, actually. He fights the Hulk this issue.
Oh
right
shit.
here. Yep.
So was he like a bad guy then?
Yeah, kind of. He was the Canadian superhero. He's here. The world's first and greatest Canadian superhero, the Wolverine.
Do you have this comic?
Oh, I wish. This is one of the... I saw one in Dallas. The guy had $3,200 he was asking for it. It's a very expensive book. It's one of the higher dollar books out, like hot books, you know, right now. But yeah, very cool book for sure.
Dude, I think you should do like a weekly comic book show, or like, is there like how often do new comics come out? Is it like
Every week.
once a week, every
Yeah.
week, or like every
Yeah.
month? Is there a big release date, or like it's every week?
There's new comics every single week. Some comics are like Spider-Man comes out twice a month, but some comics only come out once a month. But there are new comics that are released every single week.
Twice a month? That's a lot. And does it continue on, or are there like seasons, like a
Spider-Man
TV show?
does. Amazing Spider-Man does. That's one of the few though. There's only, I think, like 2 or 3 lines that come out more than once a month. And it's Amazing Spider-Man, Batman, Action Comics, which is Superman.
So there's 2. You're telling me that they come out with 2 Amazing Spider-Man comics every month, and they've been doing that forever.
Not forever, no. Not forever. It's like sometimes they'll go back to 1, like they'll go back to monthly, but for the last 3 years they've been doing it for sure. 2 Spider-Man comics a month.
That's dope,
and
man.
They have
You
done
should
that
get
in the past too.
What day of the week do they usually drop? Like a Monday?
New comic day every single week is Wednesday.
So Wednesday you should be doing your comic show.
Yeah, I could.
Talk about the new comics. Have special guests on that also know about comics, and they can talk about it.
I can definitely do that.
Yeah, dude, get Malachi on. Our
He
boy.
would be really good at it.
Shit, dude, have him host it. Do you get him on Wednesdays?
Yeah, I do.
You should make him do that, like in the store, as like part of his job. Like he needs to host, like a stream, or it doesn't even have, maybe not live. I mean, it could be live or it could not be live, whatever. But you should make him do a review, like a video review of like all the new comics for your stuff.
I could definitely see doing something like that for sure.
I mean, he's on the
At
payroll.
least the ones
Put him to work.
that like I'm getting in the store, I could see.
Yeah, dude, that'd be dope.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun for sure.
Wednesday, I'm gonna think about that.
Wednesday, new comic book day. Now, DC, which is Batman and Superman, those comics actually their release date is on Tuesday. But everything else, literally every other like publisher in the industry, it's like Wednesday comes out. But for some reason, DC comes out a day early. But
And fuck DC, fuck that shit. Even though I do
swapping to DC, people like DC.
I do like the. I don't like it. I saw the trailer for the Flash, and I don't like the Flash. He's not one of my favorite heroes or anything. But Michael Keaton as Batman and that.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Did you watch the Flash?
No, I almost got to go see it, or I was at the theater and I was like, it was actually opening day, and I was like, do I want to go see The Flash or do I want to see Spider-Man again? And I just went to see Spider-Man again.
I think the actor from The Flash got in a bunch of shit. I think he like beat up somebody or like yelled at his girlfriend or something. I don't know. I really don't care.
It was failing. I heard it came out, it hit really hard, and then Spider-Man has overtaken it now at the box office.
Yeah. I mean, probably as it should. I mean, Flash is a lame, in my opinion, lame superhero.
Well,
how do you feel about that?
I'm not a fan. I don't think he's lame.
I got one problem with the Flash.
I'm not a huge fan of him, but I think that he's probably one of the better B characters, Superman, like superhero B characters.
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask
A tier.
I wanted to ask you about this because I honestly don't know a whole lot about the Flash, but so is he just super fast? Well, he's also super strong. I know that, but here's my issue with the Flash. I feel like he is too vulnerable. Sure, he can move real quick, and he probably has like heightened senses, and can detect danger and all that. But like, he's still just, as far as I know, just a man at the end of the day, right? He doesn't have like super strength like Superman or like Wolverine healing powers like that. Like, I feel like all it takes is like an accident. He could literally trip in the wrong place and land on something, like a pole or something, and get impaled and just die, or just like.
Here we go. This is basically what all the Flash can do, which this is actually like a much bigger thing than I thought. But he can move, think, and react at light speed.
Oh, he
also has superhuman endurance.
Okay. All right. Can I pause it right there?
Sure.
So that changes everything, because light speed, what that means, according to Einstein's theory of relativity, and his theory, which so far has not been disproven, if you can go the speed of light, time does not affect you at all.
Right.
You're beyond time.
Yeah, he can actually travel through time.
So he can freeze.
Tunneling.
So he can freeze time.
Well, apparently,
from his perspective,
it says,
from his relative
so fast that he can process quantum tunneling.
Well, if he can move the speed of light, and if he can sustain that, then he can literally freeze time to his, relative to himself.
Yeah.
And if he can think at that same speed, then all that I just said about him having an accident goes to shit, because he could never have an accident, because he can literally freeze everything, he's basically like a time traveler.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
who is like, who can see things. That actually kind of makes him invincible.
Sure. Well, that's kind of, it says it down here. He doesn't necessarily have the physical strength of many of his comrades, like Superman or some shit, but he's so fast that he can use that momentum and put it into his attacks and shit. So it like gives him that extra boost of strength and shit, that momentum.
But I feel like they don't really use his light speed, because I've never really seen that before. Because all he would have to do is just freeze time and then go stab the bad guy in the throat real quick, and then the comic's over,
Right.
So, like, that makes me think that they maybe don't have a solid understanding of what light speed means.
Sure.
Because light speed means you can freeze everything. So, like Lex Luthor, for example, he could just, like, super speed freeze everything. I mean, I guess he would have to get access to Lex, which is kind of hard to do.
Sure.
But most bad guys, I feel like he could just go stab him in the throat, and they wouldn't even see it coming.
No,
he could freeze
exactly.
time.
And he does.
Freeze time, go stab him.
He's a pretty good superhero, man. He's very powerful. He's one of the more powerful ones, I would say.
He'd be a good assassin.
Definitely. If he was on the wrong team, he would be a very powerful, if not one of the strongest supervillains.
Like, he could just freeze time and just take out anybody.
It's far better that he has good intentions than bad, for sure. He will be. You would not want to fight the Flash. You want to fight with you, not against you.
Nah, he's like a time
Same
wizard.
with Wolverine. It's like you really don't want to piss this guy off or fight with him because he just never stops. It's like you can kill him 1,000 times and he's just going to keep coming back, you know?
So if Flash can freeze time relative to his perspective, then he could defeat Wolverine. He probably couldn't kill him, but he could use his super speed to trap him in like
Sure.
an adamantium like cell or something.
Yeah, possibly
And
something like that.
he could infinitely imprison Wolverine, and Wolverine wouldn't even see it coming. He would just like
Right.
be standing there 1 second, and then the next second he'd be trapped in an adamantium cell.
Yeah,
And it's like,
totally.
fuck. Damn, that's
But they
fucked
also
up.
don't exist, and that would have to be like a crossover too, because
Right.
Flash is not in the same universe.
Is there a Wolverine equivalent for DC? Not really, huh?
I think it's like there's a pissed off Canadian short guy.
Is there a healer,
Claws.
like a super healer?
For DC? Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
That's kind of
There-
weird because
there
they
probably
usually
is.
they usually rip each other off.
They're pretty. I don't know. In some ways, they do. Yeah. Let's see. Well, Superman. I mean, Superman can heal himself. You know?
Yeah, he's basically the Wolverine. That makes sense.
I mean, Superman is more than that, though. He's like literally invincible.
Yeah, he's like everything.
Yeah. Although
I wanna go back-
Superman has grown on me, dude. Like I didn't used to really like the Man of Steel, but I kind of dig it these days. Like I think it's actually better than what I ever gave it credit for.
He's like the Mickey Mouse of superheroes. He's like the
He kind of
classic.
is. I mean, he's definitely the golden boy, you know. But one
Yeah.
cool thing about Superman is the writing has been consistent, literally since the 30s. Like it's not, it hasn't been bad, like really ever. Like there have been parts that are slow, whereas like Spider-Man, you could argue that like the 90s after Venom or after Todd McFarlane left Spider-Man, it just got bad. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I'd say 150 issues of just schluck, man. Like the Ben Reilly saga and story, which is so awesome in Across the Spider-Verse. They rip on Ben Reilly's character so hard. Like, it's
Nice.
amazing, actually. Like, they just constantly crap all over the guy, and he's so deserved. Like, that was the worst period of Spider-Man, and like everybody hates it, but
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it was awesome.
So that was like early 2000s Spider-Man,
Yeah, well, not even. It was late 90s, actually.
late 90s.
And it was this thing called the Clone Saga. Yeah, and everybody hated it. Let's see if I can punch this up. Oh man, what happened? Ben Reilly. So yeah, that's Ben Reilly. He's got like the.
Yeah.
Oh, that's. Yeah, it sucks. He's called the Scarlet Spider, and super lame. Like just very 90s and campy, and like the writing is very like full of itself, sort of, and pretentious and just lame.
Yeah, it looks pretty shitty.
It is. It really is. He had a cool costume though. Like that was kind of the only redeeming factor. Was some of it was like drawn really well. They had good artists working at the time, but like other than that, like it was not what you wanted as far as Spider-Man goes. All the way up
shit,
until
dude.
like issue 300, it was pretty good.
So you got any more any conspiracies, any truth that you want to unveil to the people? Anything that you've been thinking about besides the billionaires fighting each other?
I mean, one thing that like is like hyper prevalent right now, which it's not even really a conspiracy, but it's just like something that I see so much more of these days is like this, like, I don't know, these political groups somehow like get their branding into movies. And I'm not really sure like how that's like, it's just like, for instance, like in Spider-Man, like in one of the scenes in the newest Spider-Man, like he's Miles Morales is the main character, and he's in high school, and he's got like a Black Lives Matter like sticker on the back of his book bag, and then in one scene it's like Gwen Stacy's room, like her bedroom, and at the top of her bedroom she's got like a big transgender rights sign on the top, and it's just like, why is this in here? Like, this is Spider-Man, dude. Like, what is this even? What context does this have on the story? Like, Black Lives Matter is apparently a group now in the Spider universe too. Like, give me a break, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And,
Maybe it's maybe they're trying to keep it relevant to the times. Like they're trying to convey this is the time that they're living in, and if he is a teenager that's in that age in New York City, that
Right.
he might be prone to that type of stuff. So I mean, you're right. There's totally a message. I mean, Disney does this with everything they do. I mean, just look at the newer Star Wars stuff, like that lady that they brought in. I think Rose was her name.
Yeah.
Or no, not Rose, the other lady, the pink-haired lady that sacrifices herself or whatever. She was like
Sure.
the lesbian, like feminist woman empowerment lady that just didn't belong there. It just didn't make any sense. Like
Sure.
they just force this character in there because they're Disney
Right.
and they have to do that.
Right, which it's one thing if you want to write a story about a lesbian and it makes sense and like the story is cohesive and like makes sense. It's another thing to just insert these characters willy-nilly that have no effect on the plot, and like it's just kind of bizarre. It's like this narrative gets pushed that nobody's like really asking for, sort of. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's their right as creatives and filmmakers and stuff. They can put whatever in there, and it's your right to choose what you like and what you don't. So, if you like somebody that doesn't put out content like that, like Nick Cage, for example, I don't think I've really seen in much of his movies anything like that.
Sure.
I'm sure there's a couple. I mean, he was in the first Spider-Verse, and I'm sure there's things that were out of his control. But the types of movies that he chooses typically don't have that type of content or that kind of bias.
Well, that's another thing. Is like the movie is pretty absent of any kind of, to me it was anyway, of like political posturing or that kind of thing. But when you see that kind of stuff just pop up, it's so obvious that they're just kind of like putting it there for it to be there, and like you said, to stay relevant with the times, kind of thing.
Maybe that's it. Maybe they're thinking, he's a kid from New York. That's what kids from New York, especially if he's like, he likes sticking up for people, and It's interesting that because it is kind of interesting because you don't really see Spider-Man's political beliefs in like any of the other Spider-Mans. Like you never see him like talk about anything political at all.
Right, exactly. It's kind of the absence of that stuff. And I mean, that's what comics were always kind of, not that they're all this, they certainly aren't, but like they were always kind of a way for me to go into a world where the problems were so fictionalized that you get lost in the fiction itself. It's like when you start adding these things that might be issues in our world to the comic book side, it just feels cheesy. It feels like you're kind of cutting a corner. I don't know. It's not good world building to me, sort of, because like where has this been in the canon of Spider-Man for the last 100 years, 75 years? It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel you.
Feels
there.
off.
Hey, you want to see a chemtrail? I got a good video of a chemtrail.
Sure.
Check this shit out. Blow your fucking mind. Alright, I'm screen sharing. Can you see that?
Yes. Let me show the
Hell yeah.
people.
So this is on Twitter. It says when your explanation of condensation suddenly stops. You actually see it stop spraying. That's what's interesting about this video. Chemtrails are definitely real. I've seen them spraying. I've never seen them spray and then stop spraying like that. They usually fly out of range, but I watch them like float down over time. And dude, when I was in Aruba, not a single chemtrail, not one. They don't spray down there.
What I also don't think there's that they're spraying.
I think it's weather control. I think they're just trying to manipulate the weather, and they just don't want to bother, telling people about it. I also got, this is kind of a funny thing, dude. This is Jim Brewer going on. He's like at an anti-vax, like COVID vax rally, and he like he has a little bit here. I thought it was kind of funny.
It's kind of weird. Huh, I can't hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it? Might have to watch it on the YouTube.
Yeah, I can't hear it on this side.
He's just going off about, you're a conspiracy. It's if you can't hear it, I don't want to play it. What else do we got? I've been getting into flat Earth stuff.
How do you feel about the flat Earth? Did you have a flat earther on? Didn't you have a flat earther on?
I was talking to a guy, and I think he's scared to come on, honestly. He's a pussy. He's a puss. But anyways, Ted Theodore Logan here, he's a flat earther. It's funny, they call us globers and roundies, people that believe in the globe. But you want to know the real difference between... And I actually kind of like this. He says, globers think we're all idiots who just haven't looked at the science, as if we didn't want to same access to education as you did. We know you are intelligent people who've been fooled, blah, 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 blah. Look at the science, test and critique it yourself. That's how you become a flat earther. So that's kind of what I like about some of these guys, is they're like, don't just accept the status quo. Just don't accept what you've been told. Think. Have some questions. Like, probe a little bit. See what's going on. I'm not saying they're right or wrong or whatever. And that's kind of my approach here. Is like, I'm not saying, I don't know. I've never been outside the fucking globe, so I do not know. I cannot definitively say one or another. I'm not a scientist. I don't know shit. I'm just some fucking guy in fucking Vice City trying not to get shot. So, like... So I'm trying to keep an open mind to this stuff. Here's a video that he posted. It's a flat.
It's so Earth. Flat. Do you see any curve? That's probably any curve. That's the ice wall, bro.
That's flat. That's Antarctica, motherfucker.
That's the ice wall, son.
It's playing Louis Armstrong's "It's a Wonderful World."
Yeah.
And then there's this other guy I was talking to. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. This was actually the guy that I was trying to have on, but he's not replying to my messages anymore. But we were having this little discussion here where, I'm like, he thinks that, it's a flat Earth. And I'm like, well, where's the barrier and all that stuff? And then they said something about our ancestors. And I'm like, well, space is something that, Mel Gibson said this. He said, space is something that humans have been observing and studying for thousands of years. Whereas a massive terrarium, like he was suggesting, is something I've never seen or heard of before. And then he replied, you sure? And then he sent me this. This is why I wanted to have him on. I really like this picture. I wish I could zoom in on that. It's kind of small. But it has all the different, ancient... stories or beliefs or whatever on this, and they're all like, if you look at these pictures, they're all like in a, except for NASA there. But yeah, they're all like in a dome or on some kind of a flat plane.
Sure. And that's the idea, right? That we're all kind of in a big snow globe, right? And the sun and the moon and all the stars and shit that we can see are contained sort of at the top of the snow globe. And we're down here on the earthly side of the snow globe.
I have trouble seeing it. I mean, these maps were kind of interesting as well. But again, just the whole idea of like a barrier and like... And the other thing with flat earthers I've noticed is like they have more questions than answers. they have a lot of questions like, well, why does this happen if that happens, or why is this or with that? And it's like, okay, well, if there's a barrier, what is it? And then that's where they're like, I don't know. It's like, okay, we've been here for thousands of years. We haven't taken the time to go to the edge and like figure it out. Like there's billions of us. Like no one's going out there to like see it. Like, or if they are, they're all keeping it secret. Like it just seems like, I don't know, dude. Or like, what about like all the, now I'm just shitting on this conspiracy, but like, what about all the rocket ships that we send up? Like, where do they go? Like
well, I mean, that's yeah. I mean, but it's not like we're sending rockets to the moon and shit, you know.
Yeah, but
like
you can go
like we haven't any time recently, anyway. Not in my lifetime.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole other. I mean, I guess that conspiracy could tie into this one as well. But like, you can go to a rocket launch and watch it launch up. And if there's a big ass dome, like where's it going? Like, is it just like flying high enough that you just can't see it anymore, and then it like flies around and comes back? Like,
well, I think that's the idea, right? Is that the dome is so big that it contains literally the moon and the sun, and it's kind of like the Truman Show, right? Like we're kind of contained in this bubble, and it's biblical, right? It's like they always tie it in with Christianity and stuff, and so like humanity is contained within God's bubble, and God just kind of sits and watches us, you know, through his lens or whatever, which I think is kind of strange. I don't like buy into that ideology, you know, and I think it's pretty fair to say.
I made it a little bit bigger here.
But yeah, it reminds me, there was a fantasy series by Terry Pratchett, I think is the author, and it's called Discworld. And so Discworld is like, it's a flat Earth, and it's flying through space, and it sits on like on the side. It's a disc, and on the sides are like waterfalls, like there's water like constantly just like pouring off into space. And under the Earth, it's held up by 4 big-ass elephants. And the elephants are standing on top of this giant turtle that's, like, flying through space. And it harkens right back to that same imagery, you know?
Yeah, but there's a lot of these guys out there, man, all over Twitter. I mean, my Twitter is just flooded with flat earthers, man. I'm like in that algo now, and it's just like popping up, and I'm keeping an open mind to it. Again, like I said, I don't know. Panda was giving me shit when I was talking about this. She's like, "Oh God, you're like getting into flat Earth," which is why I'm getting into it. Is because people have that initial thought that that it's just so dismissive, like right away, that it makes me be like, well, I want to look at this. I want to see. You know, they do have some interesting questions.
That's the one side of flat Earth theory or whatever that I do buy into, is the fact that you should kind of make your own assumptions. However, I think these assumptions are kind of silly, like when you stop to kind of ponder it out. But I could see how it is worth like questioning. You know, I think it's worth questioning your reality and how you live and why it's that way. But I think at the end of the day, it's just silliness. To me, it is. It's like, and more so, it's kind of like futile. Sort of like you only get so many years on this earth, and so to ponder like whether or not like we are this rock hurling through space at 9 million miles an hour, or we are on some disc that's being carried on the back of a giant tortoise.
Well, that means that you're
insignificant either way to me.
Well, also, if you're like one of these flat Earth people, like you're living in a reality where you think everyone has been lying to everyone forever about this thing, and they're doing it. Yeah, and they're doing it to keep you trapped in this place, and they're living that existence. These people believe that, and that's terrifying. That's a horrible existence, to be thinking that you've literally been trapped in a bubble and the whole world is against you, and that
Right.
they're all in on it, or they're, some are in on it, but you're not
Sure.
in on it. And you're in there, and you're just a fucking rat in a cage, and like,
Yeah, and if you don't understand what we're talking about, just go watch The Truman Show. I mean, this is literally the same ideology, right? Is that there's some man at the
dude, these
top, and
guys,
he's looking down on us all through this little bubble, and he controls everything we do. And I think that's pretty limited. Like, if that's what you think God is, that's pretty. It's kind of selling him short, you know.
dude, dude, there's Truman Show memes all over this. Like these guys love the Truman Show, and I do too. It's one of my
Right.
favorite movies. I love the Truman Show. It's a great, great
no,
show.
because it
Or
is.
movie.
It's the same story that they're telling.
Yeah.
It's just like they think it's real, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, which, could be. I mean, it could be the same thing as a simulation. You could literally say the exact same thing, except, simulation could actually make more sense in a way because we would never actually know. Whereas this, you would have to have people that have been lying for hundreds and hundreds of years and keeping this secret. And not only keeping it secret, but faking everything else, all the asteroids
Well, somehow
and the
they
moon.
would have to know, right? Well, it is. Now, here's one thing that I have pondered, and I may have even brought it up before on the stream, and I think about this often. Literally, my whole life is why, if we went to the moon in the '60s, we went a bunch of times, and that's been so long now, 50, 60 years. Why have we never gone back with the technology that exists now, sort of? It's just like, if it was so imperative, and I get it, we were just trying to beat Russia there, and that's all it was about, but was it? Because that also seems pretty naive to just buy into. It was the space race, and we were just trying to win the race against Russia, and that's why we stopped going, because we won the race, and so what's the point?
I've read that there's like a radiation belt, so that I don't think like we can really go without getting like massively irradiated. But I don't know if the astronauts got irradiated or not.
Right.
So if that's true,
well,
then the moon landing was fake.
I mean, what if? Okay, so like just playing devil's advocate with, I don't buy into any of this shit. Let me give that as a disclaimer. But so what if, like, playing into the little flat Earth theory that you said, they went up there, they saw that the fucking thing was flat, and then they go, oh no, people can't know this for some reason, because then they'll know God is real and he's watching us all through this giant snow globe. And so, like, the government, our inept U.S. government said, oh no, we gotta hush this up, keep it away from everybody. And why, first of all, if that is the case and we're on this rock hurling through space on the back of a giant tortoise, which isn't the fucking case, why would you cover that up in the first? Like, do you think that it's really going to shock people to the point that they're going to run out into the streets and burn buildings down or cause calamity? No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't affect. Like, that's another thing I've always thought. It's like, if the aliens come down, that'll change everything, right? Will it? The aliens come down tomorrow. It's on fucking CNN. Everybody knows it. It's Gloob and fucking Glork. They're fucking
You know what
celebrities.
happened? Elon would try to fight one. Elon would try to fight one.
That's true. He would try to fight one.
He'd be like, "Hey, before you destroy us, let's settle this in the ring."
Right.
You just
men.
you and me.
You and me, Glork.
He finds like some fucking alien nerd that like owns their alien Facebook or whatever. He's like,
Right.
"I'm calling you out, man. Just name a place." And he's gonna name like Mars, and Elon's
Right.
like, "I'm
Mars.
already there. I'm
Right.
already on Mars. Let's fucking go."
Right.
Fucking space fight.
Space fight.
I hope that's our
Fucking
future, man.
Glorzax versus Musk.
Dude, I hope that's where this timeline is going, because it seems like that's the direction that we're going in, and I'm here for it.
Right.
I'm here for it, baby.
Musk just whoops every other billionaire's ass on the planet, and they all have to like work for him and take him to Mars.
Yeah, and then I'll have to start fighting aliens.
I mean, what happens if the CEO of one company, like, on live TV, beats the shit out of another CEO of another massive company like that?
They both make a lot of money.
Confidence, like, what happens to Tesla stock at that point? Like, couldn't
That
it be
would
bad
be-
for the brand? Like, if he gets his ass kicked, like, couldn't that be bad, technically? Like, potentially for
Maybe
Tesla?
initially, maybe the initial response might be like, bad, but I think the overall attention that it gets would be good. All right, dude, there's one last thing I wanted to talk about.
Sure.
I found this website. It's called Polymarket, and you can't use it in the United States unless you have a VPN. You're not supposed to use it in the United States. I think it's illegal. And you can bet on world events.
Huh.
I found this by people betting
Will
on.
Trump be indicted a third time?
I found this by people betting on the submarine thing to see if the submarine would be found by like a certain amount of time. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Sub.
Uh-huh.
What is this one? Will Joe Biden be president on August 1st? Oh, this is like during his term. They're asking that. So, dude, get this. You could bet on him. You could place an underdog bet. And if Biden has if he like has a heart attack, I mean, he's old as shit, dude. He could just literally drop dead any day. It's possible.
Wow.
So, like, you could just put down a little bit of money, you know. But these odds aren't great, though. But, I mean, you could still, yeah. But, things like that. What was this one here with Trump? Will Trump be president of the USA? This is the opposite bet because I bet this would be pretty low. And what's cool about
31st.
this? And what's cool about this is a free market system. So these bids are real bids and asks.
Wow.
This is like the actual going price. And if you know anything about a free market system, it's very accurate. Like, it's smart. Like, there's a reason these are set to these numbers.
Those are good, like they're accurate odds.
This is suggesting that there is actually a 1% chance, but that actually doesn't make sense. So this one is a little bit off, I think. But you can see the liquidity.
I wonder what the odds are. Like, is Spider-Punk gay? Because, like, there's all this rumor and speculation that Spider-Punk is gay, but there's no, like, proof that he is.
Well, that's not really how Polymarket works. Most of these have, like, a time frame.
Yeah, but
like,
that's what I'm saying.
Happen?
It's supposed to be revealed in the next movie if he's gay or not.
So be like, when will it be revealed? Like, will they reveal it by this date? That type of thing?
Yeah.
Check out our market. So, yeah, you can bet on fucking anything. This would be good for betting on...
Huh? It's mostly politics.
Betting on Ball Show.
Oh, God, the nuclear weapon.
This one I thought was interesting. This one suggests that there is a 12% chance by the end of the year that a nuke is going to go off.
Detonates anywhere in the world. But I think that, yeah, I mean, don't they test nukes out in the desert in New Mexico?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Hold on, let's get into the details, because they usually have...
said that they don't do it, so I think this is a conspiracy. That
let's
say
check
that
it out.
they don't test them, but they do.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. We've been doing that forever. But it says, for the purpose of this market's resolution, any detonation of a nuclear weapon anywhere on the planet Earth will be sufficient to trigger a yes. This includes offensive usages, nuclear tests, and accidental detonations.
Oh, well then, yeah, I would definitely. That's an easy slam dunk that by the end of the year a nuclear weapon will be tested. Certainly. Like, they test them all the fucking time.
And that's a massive underdog. So the way this works is if it's by December 31st, if it does happen, you get paid $1. It's a $1 even payout.
Yeah.
It's interesting
do you really
that
think that they stopped testing nuclear bombs in the fucking 40s, dude? No.
Oh, no, wait. I think I'm reading these odds wrong, maybe. 12 cents compared to 90s. Huh. I don't know. Yeah, you would think that we I mean, there's a graphic that shows like how often we've tested, and it's like a shit ton, like all over the world.
Yeah,
how
I'm
often
almost certain.
Does a nuke get tested on Earth? So the U.S., according to this, is probably way more than this. but 215. We've set off 215 nukes in the atmosphere, and almost 1,000 underground.
Does not include the actual bombings. Wow.
Yeah, those were not a test.
Right. Yeah. We were pretty sure they worked at that point.
I think you're right. I think this is a lock. I think.
I mean,
of course,
dude. Well, here's the thing: is like, this is conspiracy boys right here because I was under the assumption that these things go off all the fucking time in the desert. And, like, they get like, people that live in New Mexico see it. Like, they will see, like, these big-ass flashes of light, like, way off in the fucking desert all the fucking time. And it's just assumed that that's what it is. That they're testing bombs out there. So, I mean, I don't know. It is terrifying to think that they're detonating nuclear devices. But, I mean, I don't put it past our government to do something like that.
I think yes is the easy bet here, man, because you can almost 10 times your money, but you can like 9 times your money on this bet.
Wow.
That's a good bet.
Yeah,
that's a really
good bet. It seems like it. And I would do my own research on that. It's like, dude, I would show them, like, hey, they are testing these things actively.
Yeah, or be like,
they're not.
When will the United States test its next? Man, I'm going to be on the list now for fucking looking this up.
The next gen nuke. The Sentinel. Dude, that's crazy. It's called the Sentinel. That's what they used to destroy all the mutants in Days of Future Past, X-Men.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, dude. That's what kills Wolverine. That's the only thing that can kill Wolverine. Well, pretty much. I think that's the only time he's died in actual X-Men.
The Sentinel.
That's scary. Is the U.S. preparing for nuclear fallout?
Yeah, that's an answer to the question. I don't know. I'll look it up another time. But anyways, that seems like a pretty good bet right there if you were a betting man that lives in a country that supports this platform. But dude, it's that's about all the time I have tonight. Okay. Thank you so much for sticking with me on this, man, for hosting.
No problem.
For getting this all together.
Yep.
You're awesome, man. You're awesome. And I look forward to doing some more content. We got to do the Mel Gibson experience.
And
bring back some Gage and Cage. And you should really think about doing that comic book thing. Get Malachi. It could be you and Malachi, like you two, like can sit together every Wednesday in the stove and do like a little podcast. Be dope as fuck. I'd watch it. I'd sit in. I'd troll you guys in the comments while you do that.
What is it? What are those shit, like the Real Housewives of Atlanta and shit? It's like we could be.
I'd be like fucking nerds.
The
fucking
real
nerds.
Comic book men of Atlanta.
Like, man, you guys are just talking about cartoons.
Fucking nerd, cartoons.
Man. Fucking cartoons.
Fucking cartoons.
All right, man. I'm gonna sign off. You're awesome, man. Let's stay in touch, and yeah.
Will do, man.
Yeah, let's see some Billionaires Deathmatch.
We're gonna see him fight. Zuck's got a lock. Musk knows what he's doing.
Zuck's the lock. Heard it here. All right, y'all.
Oh wait, is that on here? Is that like? Can we look at the odds on that real quick?
There was one that was like when they would officially announce it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can check it out when it gets closer. But I was curious.
Yeah, I don't know if they've gone that far yet. I wonder if we can search. Let's search. Let's search Elon because I'm sure there's a bunch of them. Yeah, here's the announcement. It's where they're at right now. By July 1st is what it's at. Will they announce it by July 1st? Which is like, I don't think they will. I mean, they will announce it, obviously, but by, in a couple days to have the date set and everything, it's not likely.
No, it takes more time for sure.
And the markets
a hell of a lot of training just to stand a chance, dude.
Yeah, and the markets are saying that too. But you know, if you want to take the underdog bet, if you're feeling risky, you think they're going to announce it tomorrow, that's money.
That is. It's a lot of hype. They might cash in while the hype is at the top, you know?
But who knows? Who knows? I don't think it's going to happen. Not yet. But I'm excited for it when it does. It's going to be fucking awesome.
Me too. We're going to watch it on pay-per-view. We'll stream it.
Yeah, we'll do a betting on balls about
with Joe Rogan, he does like
fight.
It's called Fight Companion, where he'll fucking watch fights and like just sit there and talk about it. We could do a Fight Companion.
That'd be dope.
Yeah,
I'm game.
Betting on balls presents.
Fuck yeah. But for tonight, I'm Harold
And
Richards.
I'm Tim.
It's been real, y'all. Or has it?
See ya.